Thank you for being here. Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. Yaakov, maybe just highlight Yehuda Gradka. Everybody could see him. Let everybody gain chizuk. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Yehuda. Excellent, fantastic. Thank you, Hebra. Thank you so much for coming. Avi, we're clear. Ellie Goldberg, are we clear? Shafi, I just. How about now? Chazdei Hashem. Chazdei Hashem. Thank you so much, Rabbi Say. 28th day of the Omer. We're up 4 weeks into. We finished 4 weeks. We're beginning our 5th week of the Omer. This is the week of beauty, my friends. We're beginning. We finished 4 weeks, and now we begin our 5th week, the week of beauty. We'll get to Lag BaOmer, which is the 5th day of the 5th week, is beauty of beauty. Hoy mamish spitz, and we'll talk about beauty, but not right now. I want to study together, Rabbi Morty Howland. Thank you for being here so much. But in this week, the week of beauty, I want to talk about something that's not as, the pasuk's a little sad, but then we'll get to happy matters. Thank you, Avi, for coming, and thank you, Grandma, for coming. Thank you so much. Rabbi said, let's study in Parshas Emor, and Vigi, I think you'll be excited by this. If we have Siyata D'Shmaya, what we are going to study today is extremely relevant to all our lives. So please bear with me. In Parshas Emor, it describes about a rebellious girl, about a wayward person, and it says as follows: Ubas ish kayin, and a girl who is the daughter of a kayin, kiseicha lisnais, and this girl has ersin, she marries a man. This girl who's zeichet to be from a family of kaihanim. Her dad is a kayin, and she's from a family of kaihanim. She's a bas ish kayin. She merits to be born into a family of kaihanim. Kiseicha liznais, and this girl is mizana. She has relationships that are forbidden. She's an arusa. She's married. She has kedushin to a man. And Rahman al-Itzlan, she's mizana. And normally she would get an einish, the normal einish she would get, the normal chiv misa, is not what she gets. Says the pasuk, Esavia hi mechaleles, she has disgraced her father, but eish tisaref, she gets burnt in fire. We pour smoldering lead down her mouth. She gets the chiyuv misa, she gets of sreifa. Esavia hi mechaleles, she disgraced her father. She wasn't good to her father. Her father's honor has been lowered. But eish tisaref, she gets burnt, she gets sreifa, she gets a worse einish. Now I want to talk to the Olam a little. I want to talk to the Chevra as follows. This girl did an Aveira Eishes Ish, one of the most disgraceful Aveiras in the Torah. She was disloyal in the most profound of ways. She's a married lady and she was disloyal. One of the worst Aveiras of the Torah. A person gives up his life, a yid, for only 3 mitzvahs in the Torah. A person is not Oived Avodah Zarah, even gives up their lives. A person for killing with Seicha gives up their lives not to murder another yid. And Arayas, Gilei Arayas, not to be Oiver Eishes Ish, one gives up his life, one gives up her life. So this girl was over the worst Aveira. She was over Chamuros, one of the Gimel Chamuros Arayos. She also wasn't sensitive to her father's feelings. She also wasn't so sensitive. Be her doing this action, her father is a prestigious man. He's a Kayin. He's a leader of the Jewish people. and she was disloyal to her father's feelings. I'm not asking Rabbi say that she gets punished for that also. That's a very important principle, that just because a person's doing worse averas doesn't mean the lesser avera doesn't count. It doesn't minimize every breach against the will of Hashem is inappropriate. I'm asking that why does the Torah picture the girl, my friends? A girl is at a bad place. She's a bas kayin. So, and she's having trouble. She has an assignment to be disloyal. So I want to talk to her. Dan Kalish, I want to talk to this young girl who's struggling with this terrible desire to betray, to be disloyal to her husband. So I'd sit down and I study this pasuk. If you want to learn, if you want to talk to her, our words, what are our words? We study Torah. Let's find out what God says. So I read her this pasuk. Bas kayin, you daughter, you precious girl. Kiseicha liznais. If you want to think about being mizana, don't do it. You're going to disgrace your father and be chayiv sreifa, worse einesh, because you disgraced your father. And my question is that really what I should tell this girl? It's not appropriate for your family. Do you know it's going to disgrace your father? She's holding in a lot worse places than that. Isn't there a avera much deeper, much more profound? She was over Eishes Ish. She's ready to be over Eishes Ish. And you're trying to tell her a subtlety of midas. She says midas, my father's reputation. I'm not, you don't know where you don't understand me, obviously. She would say, you don't understand where I'm holding. I'm thinking about doing Eishes Ish. And you're trying to tell me, you're demanding of me midas. It's not nice. Your father's not going to feel good. Isn't the breach, what's the issue, Rabbi say? If we would talk about two people doing two breaches, two different breaches, we have two different people, my friends, doing two different breaches. One person is not thinking about the family's reputation. That would be one person doing things that hurts their parents and their family's honor and prestige. And another person about to be over Eishes Ish. This girl, talk to her about the problem. She's about to do Eishes Ish. Speak to her about the problem. But the Torah speaks in this parsha, the Bas Ish Kayin, it speaks as Aviyah hi Mechaleles. The Musar Torah is about her, the reputation of the family. You seem to have ignored the main problem and you seem to have spoken about a side problem. Many years ago, Rabbi said, I want to share what I think is emistic of Pshat in this pasuk, but I want to tell you about a dilemma that I faced many years ago. And I think this is relevant to all our own construction of ourselves. Listen to a Maisa that happened. Years ago, in Yeshiva, I apologize to say it, but in Yeshiva, I caught a bacher being Mechalel Shabbos. And so I called him in to give him Musar to speak to him. And I was thinking over what I want to tell him. I had two conversations to talk to him about. I want him to know about Shabbos Kodesh, precious Shabbos, the day that a Yid says Eidos that Hashem creates the world, the day that a Yid is so precious, he announces the Kesher to Hashem, a world that's physical, and a Yid, such a joyous day that we're beyond physical, we're not just bodies, we're capable, there's a God who we're capable of connecting to. And a Yid's essence says Eidos, says testimony to a Bayrei Olam. And this person was Mechalel, he doesn't know about the essence of a Yid, whose essence were the Am Hashem, were the people of Hashem, who can show the world Hashem's existence. We could show the world Kirvas Hashem. And this youngster didn't understand that that was one breach. Then I thought to myself, there's a second breach, this youngster. This youngster in yeshiva was Mechalel Shabbos. Where's his respect for the environment? Where's his derech eretz? If I would take my kids to a ball game and they wouldn't stand up by the national anthem, I probably would take my kids home. I would take them home. They wouldn't watch the ball game. Where's your derech eretz? 50,000 people are showing reverence to the flag, are showing reverence to a country that's been kind. Where's your derech eretz? You're sitting down? If you don't understand the importance, but it's important to 50,000 people, basic derech eretz, basic decency, is there standing, you stand as well. This bacher, you don't understand Shabbos. We can get to the breach of Hillel Shabbos, but there's also derech eretz. You're in a yeshiva, you're in an environment. Where's your respect for everybody around you, for everything we hold precious and important? So I had two sugyas to speak to the bacher about. Which is the proper sugya to speak to him about? What should I tell him? What should I speak to him about? And it was a very complicated question. If I speak to him about derech eretz, so it looks like the Shabbos thing I'm putting aside. If I speak to him about Shabbos, it looks like the derech eretz I'm putting aside. Now you could say quickly talk about both breaches. That could be, maybe that's what you should do. I had three studim. Do I talk about the breach of derech eretz, which looks like I'm telling him I don't want to deal with the Shabbos sugya right now? Do I talk about Shabbos and say the derech eretz we'll get to another time? Do I talk about both? That was my shame. So you don't make up on your own. You have to study Torah. We must learn from the Torah. So I want to take you way back, Rabbi. So I want to study a pasuk in Parshas Bereshis, Sefer Bereshis, Parshas Vayetze. The guys know that I have a tremendous appreciation for ladders. I love ladders because it's all about climbing. And in Yaakov Avinu's dream, where he dreams and he sees a ladder, one of the most precious gifts I ever was given, Yitzi Reis. He knows I love ladders and I love the Sefer Mesias Yesharim, which is a step-by-step guide to growing. Zehirus, Zrizus, Nikios, a step-by-step guide to getting closer to Hashem. He made a gorgeous ladder, putting all the madregas. Zehirus was one rung of the ladder, then Zrizus, then Nikios. It stayed right near right in my room. It stayed on my dresser for years, till an unfortunate accident. I have to fix it. But for years, I wanted to see that all the time, right in my room on my dresser. I had this precious ladder going up all the madregas of the Mesias Yesharim. So Yaakov Avinu has a dream, Rabbi say, and in his dream, Yitzi, thank you so much for the precious ladder. Thank you. So in Yaakov Avinu's dream, we all know about Yaakov Avinu's dream, where he dreams of a ladder. And it describes the dream, the great dream. It was the first prophecy of Yaakov Avinu's life. What an important moment of his life. Yaakov Avinu becomes a prophet, a Navi Yankov. What a moment. Yankov Richlands here, unsere Yankov. But this is a great moment in Yaakov Avinu's life. Momo, I love it in the tefillin. I love it. I love it. I'm sorry I took mine off. Let me show his tefillin. Perfect. Momo, I love you, and I love you in tefillin. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Momo, for being here. Thank you. What a beautiful Bentayra. Excellent. Thank you, Momo. Momo, Yaakov Avinu becomes a Navi, a prophet. He has nevuah from Hashem, an amazing moment in his life. Not only does he become a prophet, Hashem shows him a ladder in his dream. Hashem shows him a ladder in his dream. What a moment of his life. In this precious moment, Yaakov Avinu is sleeping, and he wakes up. And he wakes up, he should be ecstatic, Shmuel Grossberger. What a great day in his life. Woo! should let out such an excitement, but that's not what Yaakov Avinu does. Upon waking up in the morning, he has a funny reaction. Vayikatz Yankiv, he wakes up in the morning, Mishnasai from his slumber, Vayomer, and he says, Ochen yes Hashem b'makom hazeh. God dwells on this place. He had fallen asleep on the makom of the Beis Hamikdash. See, and in his dream he chapped that this is the place, the greatest place of Ashras Hashchina in the world. V'anoichi lo yadati. He says, oh no, I slept here. I didn't know that this is the place of Ashras Hashchina. Says Rashi, she'im yadati, if I would have known, lo yashanti b'makom kadosh kazeh, I never would have slept here. What a strange reaction. In the morning he says, shucks that I fell asleep here. It's a breach in Derech Eretz. It's inappropriate to sleep in a place of Ashras Hashchina. That's what he said in the morning. Rabbi say, he had the most growth in his life. He became a Navi that night. God spoke to him. Aliyah she'en kamayu. What a strange reaction. He said, I regret the breach in Derech Eretz. Says the Alter of Slobodka. The Alter of Slobodka explained, in the construction of man, there are steps in the construction of man. And the first step is to create a person who has derech eretz, who has midas tovos, and then when we create that healthy person of derech eretz, on top of that, first we have a mensch, then on that we build levels, a from person. There's an order of construction of a person. There's an order. There's a system of construction, said the Alter of Slobodka. And Yaakov Avinu was saying, I may have built many layers, but I wouldn't have done the breach in Derech Eretz, because if I have all those layers, but I don't have the person, I can build a lot of frumkeit. But if I don't build a from person on top of a person, then all my layers will just collapse. I first have to be a person. What our parents always told us, derech eretz kadma l'Torah. First a mensch, then I could be a very from mensch. Is the pshan in this pasuk what Hashem is saying to this girl? She says, I'm in frumkeit, I'm holding nowhere. The basic mitzvah of the Torah of Eishes Ish, I'm not by. And Hashem says, right now, be a human being. Your parents are going to be disgraced from this Maisa. Have some derech eretz, have a respect. I was thinking to myself, when I am sitting down with this youngster, he had a breach in frumkeit. Shabbos is a yid. Not to care about your environment, even if he was a guy, would be a breach. Before I can ask him to be a from person, I have to ask him to be a person. So I only spoke to him about the breach. I only spoke about the breach of Derech Eretz. First, he has to be a person. I'm not ready to talk to him about Shabbos now. We'll work on Shmira Shabbos, but a person could be a from person. Yaakov Avinu explained to us that all the ruchniistic madregas he got, I only am worthy because I have derech eretz. If I would have known, I wouldn't have slept in this place. So he's saying, I have the derech eretz. Mimela, all those ruchniistic madregas were in place. But if I didn't have the derech eretz, building that ruchnius would be building on quicksand. It would just collapse. I must first, the construction of a person is derech eretz, is midas tovos, is basic decency, and then we're a mensch, we're a person. A person then becomes a from person. So I felt so stark that the thing to talk based on this Alter of Slobodka, based on this pasuk in the Torah, where Hashem's talking to this girl, and Hashem says to this girl that I want you to know, Hashem says to this girl, think about your mishpacha. Be a person of decency, the reputation of the family, that you're caring about the zulas, that you're caring about others in your environment. Be a mensch. And that's the message to the girl. And that's the first step to tell her. And she studies that, and of course she's not nichshel. Because the first breach, the first thing is to be a mensch, and then on a mensch we'll add madregas of ruchnius. There's a conversation Yosef Atzadik has with Eshes Potifera when she tries to get him to be mizana. So she says, come, let's do an Aveira together. Yosef responds fascinatingly. He says two things to her. He says, first of all, it's inappropriate. Your husband has trusted me and is so good to me. It would be so crazy of a betrayal to do it. And then after Yosef Atzadik describes why it just would be a basic betrayal, he says, V'chatasi le'lokim. It would be a sin to God as well. What Yosef Atzadik is saying, it's interesting. Why don't you just say it's a sin, I can't. God said no. It's not what he says to her. So you could say she won't listen to that, but I don't think he's just talking to her. He's talking to you and I. It's written in our Torah. He says, first of all, it's a betrayal of derech eretz. I'm not a mensch. Yede'ena, everybody understands decency. I'm not a mensch to do it. And then when I built that shlav, that step, I want to be a person. Now I'm ready to be a from person. Chatasi le'lokim. God said no. It's what allows for the next step. Chatasi le'lokim. I've strengthened and I fortified a base of being a person. I'm a mensch. Ich bin a mensch. I'm a person. Now I'm a person. Stark. I'm a mensch. I'll be a from person. I have seen Bachrim. I have seen a youngster in 10th grade. I want him first to build a nice structured day. I have seen guys steig. The guy works out every day. He wakes up in the morning and he runs for insanity. That guy, for anybody who understands, he's building the frommest person in the world. He's building a person, the right construction. He's a mensch first. A mensch has to be busy. A mensch has to be building. A mensch has to getting larger, stronger muscles, bigger, smarter. A guy can literally steig. He goes and anybody who understands this. If you're playing for crowds, okay, so then you build out of order and the structure collapses. In 10th grade, it might be his most religious action is playing basketball daily. That's how the Torah teaches us to construct. He's building a mensch. So every day doesn't miss a league game. It's more upsetting a 10th grader misses a league game than he misses shiur. Build a person. Find the things that you're fired up about and then build a nice structure. How did you miss your team game? What? First of all, you let down your friends. You're the best player on your team. It wasn't appropriate. And second of all, you love basketball. So no, build a basic structure. After he has a structure, he has a tzura. He's a mensch. He's a good mensch, a built mensch. On a person becomes a very from person. You add layers and layers and madregas. He doesn't miss, that same guy doesn't miss a shiur, doesn't miss a musava, doesn't miss a prayer. A person working on the etzem mensch, and then on the basis of the mensch building. It's in this pasuk, I admit that here, because it's Eishes Ish, one can tie that alone's a betrayal. But keep in mind, she only has Ersin. She doesn't have Nesilin. The Torah purposely spoke about a girl. It's Ersin. She doesn't even know her husband yet. So the Torah spoke about a case, B'dafka. It's a big shaila in the Tanaim. That there's a lot to speak about this pasuk. But we are learning, Pshat, that the betrayal, and perhaps the betrayal here, to her family, to her husband, that didn't have that betrayal yet. There's only Erison. So to her, you have to speak to her first about the derech eretz. That's what Hashem wants to talk to her. Esavihi michaleles, young lady, don't be michalel your mishpacha. Care about your own dignity, your family's dignity. Then we'll talk about relationships, commitments. We'll build other madregas. It's an important point. This point in working with ourselves, in working with others, identifying the beginning shirish. not to, we speak and we've spoken about, we're all talking about building ourselves and growing and developing, really figuring out the next step and trying. It says, Utz biraglav chayte, one who skips, one who jumps up is a sinner. It's wrong to build out of order as best as possible, to try to build ourselves with in a thoughtful way. What's the right geschmack step? What's the appropriate next step? This is Rabbi say, this is something Rabbi say for us all in the construction of a person to think about, both for ourselves and both in working on others. And I felt in this Lemashal, that case of Shabbos, where there were two breaches, I felt that it would be out of order to talk about the breach of Shabbos Kodesh. Hagam, trust me, I want to speak. I want the person to embrace and engage Shabbos. And I promise you, that person today keeps Shabbos with passion, I promise you. Because they had the first step, derech eretz. They're a mensch. I'm in an environment, I go somewhere, there's a mensch. On a mensch, then of course, that has a logical next step, be a from mensch. This is the first thing, Rabbi say, that I wanted to share with the Chevra today. There's a whole other Inyan I want to share with the Chevra today, but I want to give myself and you the opportunity. Pinny Shechter composed a new song. This song is worthy. I should have also been wearing my tefillin, Momo and Pinny, all right? Yo Rahmani, check out Mayor Friedler. Hello, Mayor. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mayor. It means a lot. Thank you, Mayor Friedler, for being here. Let me introduce Mayor to the Chevra. Mayor, say hello.
Hey, Rabbi. Hey, everyone.
How's everything doing, Mayor?
Far so good. Hanging in there.
Fantastic. I miss you a lot, Mayor.
You too, Rabbi.
Great to see you. Mayor, all year, most of the year has been coming to Musavad. I thank you, Mayor, for letting me learn with you and for learning with me for this whole time. Thank you, Mayor. It's appreciated a lot. Really, really, yeah. Yeah, what Yonatan Kleki's quote, if you build for crowds, you build out of order and the structure collapses. Well said, Yonatan Kleki. Excellent, excellent. Let me read that again, Yaakov. Let me read that. If you build for crowds, you build out of order and the structure collapses. If you're building only for what it appears to others, so you make the nice part, the underground part of the building, what do you care? Nobody sees it. So you just build the outside part of the structure. Everybody says, wow, and then the first wind comes and there is no structure. That is a secular school, how it works. It's built for others, so there's no foundation laid. If we lay a foundation, and we have to ask ourselves, I don't want to get too teeth in for each one of us has to think what's the foundational pieces. And that's a question that I don't want to philosophize too much about. And I trust us all, but we have to think it through. On what piece am I going to build what? And this is an important question. And this question, of course, we want to work on everything, but what piece to build what? And I felt by this bacher that when he gets a sense, I'm in a group. I think this bacher has to learn. If you got a giant stadium and they sing a national anthem, stand up. Avi Wolaski, they're such precious B'nai Torah because they have a grandma who taught the family, derech eretz. They're respectful people. A respectful person gets frummer and bigger, and so you see. On that we can build. So that's what I wanted to share with the Chevra. Thank you very, very, very much, Rabbi Say. I love you, Srilly Rubin, a lot. Pinny, let's unmute Pinny. I need to hear your new song, Pinny. I really was going to say two things in the song, but Ha'ava Mekalkeles Sashura, I want to hear Pinny.
Rabbi, can you hear me?
Oh, do I hear you?
So I have two Nagunim, and I don't know which one to sing.
Do one now. This is what we'll do. You'll do one song now. I'm going to share the second word, and you'll do the second song.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I was reading Tehillim and the Vani B'chastecha B'tachti Yageli V'shuasecha, and it was just mind blowing. So it's amazing that David HaMelech talks about his pain and his suffering first, and then he talks about how he trusts Hashem. until you get out your pain, until you get out what's really going on, you just can't. And you get it out, and then you can come back to having emunah and faith. So this is it. It's just simple niggin. Ivani b'chazdecha batavachti yagel libi b'shuatecha vani b'chazdecha batavachti yagel libi b'shuatecha vani Vani, 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 b'chazdecha batavachti, yagel libi, yagel libi, yagel libi b'shuatecha. Ashir al Hashem ki gamal alai. Ashira al Hashem. Ashir al Hashem ki gamal alai. Ashira al Hashem. To you I will sing this song. I will sing you this song from my heart. To you I will sing this song. I will sing you this song from my heart. Vani b'chazdecha batavachti yagel libi b'shuatecha. Vani b'chazdecha batavachti yagel libi b'shuatecha. Vani, 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 b'chazdecha batavachti, yagel libi, yagel libi, yagel libi b'shuatecha. Ashir al Hashem ki gamal alai. Ashir al Hashem. Ashir al Hashem ki gamal alai. Ashir al Hashem. To you I will sing this song. I will sing you this song from my heart. To you I will sing this song. I will sing you this song from my heart.
Off the charts. Boy, did you sing from your heart. Thank you, Pinny. Wow, 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 wow. You picked the right song. I didn't hear the other, but that was, well, thanks a million, Pinny. Thank you, thank you. I want to follow that up. Pinny, we're going to have Akiva Elbow. Let's unmute Akiva. Akiva, how are you?
Good, Baruch Hashem.
How nice was that song, Kivala?
Beautiful.
Woo! Gorgeous, gorgeous. Which song would you sing, Akiva? You get to pick. If it's good today.
Yeah, it's good. What does Rabbi want?
Your voice. Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent.
Hashem, Hashem Elohi Kai, Bechol Levavi. Oy v'chavda Shimcha, Shimcha li Olam. Oy v'chavda Shimcha li Olam. Oy Decha Hashem Elokai Oy Bechol Oy Levavi Devavi Oy Vachavda Shim Chani Oidam V'Chavda Shimcha Oili Oidam.
Thank you, Akiva. That was awesome.
Thank you, Rabbi.
In the words of John Sterling, back to back. Wow. 2 home runs in a row. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Kivla. Really, really appreciate it. Continued Atzlacha. Thank you for being here. I wanted to continue. I wanted to thank Shlomo Deitch is here, and we will get him. He has sang 2 years in a row. He has sang 2 years in a row in Eretz Yisrael, and I definitely want to hear him again. Be'ez Hashem. We'll have chances to hear Shlomo Deitch. I wanted to thank Shmuel Bear, another gorgeous, gorgeous voice, and a precious, gorgeous kid. Shmuel Bear, it's a little choppy, Biggie. Shmuel Bear, can you hear me? Are we better now, Viggy? Excellent. Shmuel Bear is here as well, and I thank him. Eli Moshe Chayfetz is here. Shloimi Berger, thank you so much for coming to learn. Tzvi Aberman's here. I want to share about continuing on this first theme, but really getting to the main point that I wanted to make with this all. I think we can get lost, Momo, and start talking what's derech eretz. I want to really get to the point and hit it better than I've said, Benny, till now. There's a pasuk very early in the history of the yeshiva. We started b'siyata d'shmaya. The yeshiva began 20 years ago as a beis medrash. And one of the first things I wanted to give over in this yeshiva, and in the Mesivta we started of Siyata D'Shmaya 11 years ago, this was one of the main messages that I wanted to give over as a pasuk in Mishlei. I want to share the pasuk with you, and this is really where I'm heading with this. I'm going to share another vart that's mind-boggling. It's one of the most amazing vartim I ever heard in my life. And that's really where I'm going with this. And please bear with me. If somebody left now, I would feel badly because they wouldn't really have gotten where we were going with this. The pasuk in Mishlei says, "Haylech biyashra yirei Elokim." Somebody who goes, it doesn't say in the straight path, is a fearer of heaven. It says, "Haylech biyashra." Somebody who goes in his straight path fears Hashem. Unelois jerachav. If you make crooked your ways by zeyu. If a person has yiras shamayim, if a person lives me and Hashem, if they live themselves in Hashem, they go biyashrai, in my straight path. What is meant? What is the smartest man who ever lived? If he would say, "Haylech b'yashar," be a yashar, be a straight person. Don't be dishonest. Don't be corrupt. But he doesn't say go in the straight path. He says go in your straight path. I always find it ironic. It really part of the kasha. What is this pasuk saying? Isn't straightness, isn't it objective? It's not subjective. Liars have their own unique path, their own perception of reality. Shouldn't it say, Haylech b'yashar, go straight? But it doesn't say that. It says, Haylech b'yashrai, go in your straight path. And Rabbi say as follows, everybody's next step is different. Everybody's challenges are different. Everybody's path to Aliyah is different. We are extremely dangerous when I take his next step. He takes my next step. Rav Olba said in yeshivas, the Yetzer Hara that's mistaifef, that hovers more than any other challenge, is the Yetzer Hara of kinna, of jealousy. In a yeshiva, we look at our screen, there are people who are acquiring tremendous madregas. And of course, there's what to be jealous of. People have tremendous madregas. And the great danger is imitation and copying, is trying to do his step and what's good for him. A Yirei Hashem, somebody who lives with sincerity, an authentic person, takes their step, not his step. Hailech biyashrei, my yashrus. I don't bend my path for the step you're supposed to take. I take the step I'm supposed to take. I want to share a word with you. I asked Michila, I don't know why the Siyata D'Shmaya. First we spoke about one wayward girl today, and we're going to go to a different wayward girl. We're together a group of tzaddikim, and I'm talking, these are the psukim, but Hashem teaches us from all different circumstances. Please listen to this, Rabbi. It says that if a girl is accused, we learned together Mesivta Saita. A girl is accused by her husband of doing inappropriate actions with a man. She's closeted with a man alone in a room. She's a married lady. Her husband warned her. There was kinui. And then there was stira in front of Adam. She goes into a room alone with another man. And her husband calls her out on it. So we give her of course, the waters to drink. If she turns guilty, she passes away. If she's innocent, she merits a child. We will chayshe b'ksherim. She merits a child. She has a baby because she really was righteous. It's one of the most strange dinim in the Torah, my friends. This girl was not a tzaddikus. She was alone in the room with a man. And so the Torah says if she's innocent, she's really chayshe b'ksherim. She's a wonderful person. She has a baby girl. She has a child, a girl or a boy. She gets a child. There's worse yet, Rabbi say. The Gemara tells us that if a person has two paths to take, one path is a path that there's very dangerous, inappropriate things there. If you drive that road, you're going to pass by inappropriate sites. And another road doesn't have the dangerous sites. So the Gemara says a person is a tzaddik, goes on the path without the challenges, and if they go on the other path, they're a Russia, even if they don't look. The Gemara says, a person, it's a choice of a Russia to go on the path, the dangerous path. It's a very important lesson in life. Avoid challenges. Tzedkus is not to go and not to be nechshal. Tzedkus is avoid the challenge. So the Gemara says if you go on the bad road, even if you don't look, that's a rishus. So then it's a stira. This lady, what are you saying? She's a tzaddikus. She didn't do an avera. She was a Russia to go in the room with the guy. She was miyached. She's an Eishes Ish who had yichud. And the Gemara says that it's a Russia. So what's going on here that she's zeichet to a child? Rabbi say, please listen. I promise you, it's relevant to us all at any place in our life, the highest of highs. Please listen to this. This lady, when she made a decision to go into that room, did an act of rishus. Because even if she's not going to be nechshal, she has no right to put herself in the room. Now she's alone in the room with this man. She's at a very dark place in her life. Do you know the journey for her greatness is to be strong and not be nechshal? That moment produces children and dairas yesharim. Hailech b'yashrei. She should celebrate that outstanding moment in her life. It's an outstanding moment. You're right, she had no right to go in the room. And you're right, it won't be a great story in an Art Scroll book because the truth can't always be told. But it's the greatest story of her life That moment that from where she was, she took a step forward. Of course, she wasn't allowed to go in the room. That was a Yuridik walking into the room. But now she's here. Now she's there. Her path and her Maisa Gadlus, she wasn't Nechshel. She has a child. She merits a baby. A baby means a tomorrow. A baby means new chayus. A baby means new bracha. She merits tremendous achuyos. Because that moment she wasn't Nechshel. Where you're up to, where we are, take a step forward. Your step forward, not her step forward, not his. The step forward, that's our step forward. It won't always be understood. I love Gedolim books, but I assure you the best stories are not in the book for different reasons. They're great, read all the books. But the best stories you and I wouldn't even understand. We only understand nice stories of kindness. What their step was is unique to each person. A Yirei Hashem, a person who has a self, a person who's building themselves knows their step. I said before, it might be godless for one bacher to work more on his jump shot, because that's what he needs right now. He's not playing for a crowd. Hailech biyashra Yirei Hashem. He's working him and Hashem for the emes. He's building in an authentic way. Take your step. Revolba used to beg in front of the mirror. The mashkiach used to beg. He used to say, "Tzemachen." I heard him say these words. "Tzemachen," to accomplish nish tzenoch machen. Don't copy, don't imitate. Very, very dangerous. It's wonderful in yeshiva to be around and be inspired by massive amounts of B'nai Torah. But then don't take his step, take your step. Be inspired and moved by all the steps he's taking. Then powerfully take your step. We only should take our step. And it won't always be understood, and it can't always be written in a book. It's unique to where we're up to. What's my step? But that's a heilig biyashrei. Always moving forward, always advancing with my footsteps. I always love that Reb Hirsch equates the word ashrei, which is fortunate, and we sing so much in yeshiva. We sing ashrei, ashrei. It's a whole yeshiva mitzios of ashrei, fortunate, geschmack, blessed, ashrei. Ashreinu matov chalkeinu. Reb Hirsch says the word ashur, it's a Gemara in Gittin, means a footstep. Ashur habli, in ashur is a footstep. I always love that a footstep forward is ashrei. I see Pinny showing. You have the Reb Hirsch there, Pinny? Let's see, show it again, show it again. Ashrei Aish, excellent, excellent, Pinny. Ashrei means fortunate. Ashrei means a footstep, but not any footstep, your footstep. The guys know I love the pasuk that it says, Mayafu pamayich, how beautiful are your footsteps, Bas Nediv, you daughter of Avram. Mayafu pamayich, how beautiful are your footsteps, your footstep, yours. Not somebody else's footsteps. Those are ugly when you take his step. Then you have a misstep. Our step, Hailech biyashrei, our step. Mayafu pamayich, how beautiful are your footsteps, Bas Nediv, you daughter of Avram Avinu, biman alayich, when you still have your shoes on, when it can't, you're not in the Makam HaMikdash yet. In that room, that saita, that lady, it's not a story that's going to be too publicized. It's a story I blush to say over to you. But that lady, that tzaddikus, that holy righteous woman who merits a child, in the darkness of that room, her career of greatness started because she wasn't nichshel. She took her footstep. She didn't slip. Her step into the room was an aveir, was a ma'aser risha. But from whatever step of yesterday, but this is where I am today, Mayafu pamayich, how beautiful are your footsteps. And for that step forward, she merits a child. Always in our lives, we have to ask ourselves what the proper step forward is for me. take our own step forward. When we have other cheshbainis that confuse us, what others are doing, how it plays out in the eyes of others, that's dangerous stuff. We don't build smartly. And today's topic is about building smartly, is about building with a seder, is about taking the step that I need to take that will allow me to advance forward, my step from where I'm up to. And this you say that there is a step. So then it's a sugya for itself, both for ourselves and for others, how to figure out what the proper step is. But that there's an order of construction, there's an order of advancing, and to be sure to take the proper step that I'm up to, that I need to, that works for me, that advances me. That is the sugya we're discussing. Ashrei, the great fortune of advancing, of moving forward, of gaining Kiras Hashem with my step. That is the sugya that I badly wanted to share with the chevra. I want to celebrate this pshat and this pasuk with another song from Pinny Shechter. Pinny, I want to hear the second song.
All right. This is like a year old, and it's like a known thing in the rap world, the non-Jewish rap world, that like one rapper will say like a great line, and then a different rapper in their rap will like quote that line in their song. It's like a, it's like a spitz thing to do. And when I came and sang the Tati song, and then David Adel made an even better song, and like it blew up the world. I have to thank David for Tati, my king. And then I was making a song, and I was like, ooh, I'll throw him back in it. So this is like we're going back to David here. So this is my Esainai. This was from my pshat that I said I wrote this song. It's a lot of English words, so I hope it comes out clearly. Esainai el harim, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Me'ayin yavo ezri, where will my help come from? I beg you, please, tell me what to say when all my words have gone away. I've been calling out to you for 1,000 nights and days. I could really use a helping hand, but I was told to speak to you, Hashem. So here I am. Please help me now. I'm on the front lines of this crazy battleground, running, twisting, falling flat. These bullets, yeah, they're flying fast, and I don't know how much longer I can hold on. This world's pulling me down, and my strength is almost gone, but I lift up my eyes. I lift up my eyes to the Most High. Esainai el harim, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Me'ayin yavo ezri, where will my help come from? I beg you, please. King David looking out at the mountaintops. These mountains were his challenges, and oh, they never stop. But what was he supposed to do but turn to the maker of the mountains, the one that made him too? All my life I just wanted to find a burning bush, to know for certain there's a God in heaven and of earth. But maybe if I took a look behind, I'd see 1,000 burned out bushes. This parable ain't mine. Esainai el harim, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Me'ayin yavo ezri, now I know where my help comes from. I heard the most amazing thing. This non-Jewish guy, I was listening to him, and he said, he was like a recovering alcoholic, and he said, my whole life I wanted a burning bush. I wanted God to come down and give me a burning bush and be like, I'm here, and go for it. And he said, what I learned in healing myself was that I have to look back in my life and see all the burned out bushes that God made for me all along the way. And that's how I'm going to get better. Not by saying, God, show me, split the sea for me. He does split the sea for us. But I have to look in my life and see
Excellent. It says Hashem saw that Moshe was sar liarais, that he bothered to see, that he noticed it. Thank you, Pinny. Gorgeous song. Thank you very much, Pinny. I thank Nas and Engber for being here in Eretz Yisrael. the poems he read us, what Nassim did for us and does for us. Thank you, Nassim Eber, for being here. Yosef Groman, thank you very, very much for being here. I want to say to us all that anybody could scroll down. I just looked through. Pinny was singing and igniting us all. I was looking, Rabbi, at the different faces and the success of the Bnei Torah. That precious Ben Torah. Tzvi Davidson's here. Tzvi Aberman's here. Just Shlomo Deitch is here. And I want to say that anybody who wants a sense, look at Matt Levin, Morty Hall, and Alicia Edelman. Look at the Bladders, Yosef Sandler, the Gradko. The big Eitzah Taiva. Somebody looks at all the success with Siyata D'Shmaya, Kulei Siyata D'Shmaya, Yonatan Kleki. But I would say the success of our Chabura lies in this point. Hoylech b'yashrei. Build yourself. Don't imitate others. When one is trying to imitate others and trying to take other steps, we do not advance. We don't have ashrei. Hoylech b'yashrei. That's called Neloi's Drachav, somebody who makes crooked their path. Like that great quote from Yonatan Kleki, if you build all that looks good to others without the foundational pieces, you don't take your step, we're bound to fall and slip. So I wanted to gain that chizuk today, and all of us should be zeicha to take our steps and to continuously take our steps. We should be zeicha to continue to climb the ladder, to continue to advance, continue to grow. There's a lot to speak about Pesach Sheni. Tonight is Pesach Sheni, tonight and tomorrow. It's a sugya for itself. We're not beginning it at 3 o'clock. But one thing I do like the visual that there's 2 carbon Pesach. There's one on Erev Pesach, and for a different group that couldn't do it then, there's one tonight and tomorrow. There's 2 days. Everybody has their day and their time. May we all be zeich to continue to take our beautiful footsteps forward. Mayafu pamayach, how beautiful are your footsteps. You bas nadiv, you daughters and sons of Avram Avinu. Continue that tzlach and all our steiging. Have an outstanding day. Thank you, Menachem Rasner, for being here. Have an outstanding day, Rabbi say.